I've been itching for like a week and a half
About what?
to talk about this Michael Jackson documentary. Now you see, we got all the mic records up here. You know what I'm saying? These is the blueprint for pop culture as far as
Right.
I'm concerned. You
Absolutely.
know what
No
I'm
question.
saying? And this Michael documentary right on the cusp of us celebrating him with the movie. Last time I checked, I think it was at 800 million. The
Mm-hmm.
Michael movie, and Netflix dropped this documentary. Now, I was kind of curious to see the documentary because I wanted to know, okay, well, what direction are they going to go? We saw the other one, the Leaving
Netherland,
Neverland,
yeah.
and so I was curious, like, okay, is this going to be a documentary that kind of just lays it all out? Are they going to talk about, his ownership in the music industry, maybe the vultures that was out to get
I
him,
thought that at
the
first too.
origin of maybe where these rumors started? Let's see. Is it going to be fair, balanced? What are we doing?
Yes.
When I watched it, I said, okay, this is just another one of those documentaries. And then I watched it again. I watched it for a second time because I wanted to kind of really look for the
I couldn't even get to the third
inconsistencies. And there
episode.
was some characters in the documentary that I wasn't
Yeah.
really feeling. And
Mm-hmm.
when I watched it the second time, what stood out to me the most was the edits.
Yes.
You know, I
Yes,
started
I want
paying
to mention
attention
something
to the
about that for
edits.
sure.
And I said, okay, so
Yeah,
you see,
they had a
they
certain
had an
picture,
agenda here.
yeah,
They
that they
had an
wanted to
agenda
push.
here, and I remembered watching the Martin Bashir
Me
special,
too.
and I remembered him having the conversation with the little boy, and I've seen it since then, and
Mm-hmm.
I knew that they clipped that scene.
Yes.
They clipped that scene with him, and if y'all are really interested, go on YouTube because it's on there. Michael Jackson with Gavin Arvizo is the young guy's name for the Martin Bashir documentary. It's the scene with him talking to Michael Jackson.
And
He's talking
sidebar, if you
about
haven't seen it, he's the kid that had cancer, and
right.
Michael was housing him in the meantime while he was going through his treatment
The
and whatnot.
basis of the whole second
Right.
the Michael Jackson trial.
Yes.
He's the basis of
Yes.
this whole trial. He went to a psychologist, said that he was molested.
Yeah.
The police got involved, and this is where the whole trial stemmed from.
And this
child,
is after the family had already come out, talked about all the amazing things that Mike was doing for them and how grateful they were. And it's always somebody that at some point must have gotten to their ear or looking at other people that were
his
trying to
family
come
had
out
a
for him.
history.
Yeah, they had a
They
history.
had a history of the
Mhm.
mother did this some department store where
Yes.
they caught them stealing, and she
Mhm.
accused them of sexual harassment,
Yes.
whatever, and they won the lawsuit. They got a
Mhm.
big lump sum of money from, I forget what the store was.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the wrong
store, but regardless, it was a department store that she,
yeah. So I went back and I had to pull that clip of from the
Yeah.
documentary to see. And I mean, in the documentary, what they show you is Michael sitting with this kid, and he's saying, they're talking about him sleeping in Michael Jackson's bed, and they cut a big chunk out the middle of it, and you hear the little boy say, and I didn't want to, but Michael said, if you love me, you'll sleep in my bed.
Mhm.
Now, if you go back and look at the actual clip, what is
I mean,
actually
they
said
clipped
is
that up.
Michael is saying he wanted to sleep in my bed. And so I told him I'll sleep on the floor
Mhm.
and you sleep in my bed.
Yes.
And the young boy is saying I didn't want to take his bed. And he said, well, if you love me, you'll sleep in the bed.
Yes. They clipped that up.
Completely changes the perception.
Yes.
And when I realized that, it completely, I said, okay, there was definitely an agenda here, and it just gets worse through the course of the documentary.
Yeah, how do you make, like you said, there's clearly an agenda. How do you clip all that up? So that was an intentional thing.
Yeah, very
you
intentional. And that's
intentionally
early on
was like,
in the
oh, let me take out
documentary
at least 30 seconds of the conversation.
because we want it to look like this.
I remember even like Macaulay Culkin was on Larry King years and years ago.
Yeah.
And he talked about how Michael Jackson had like a 2-story bedroom. So when people always think about the fact that, oh, these kids are sleeping in his room, in the bed, and things like that. But they're like, this is not your average bedroom.
Right.
This is a huge, almost like somebody's apartment or bigger. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's 2 stories. And Macaulay Culkin said on Larry King, like, he slept on the floor.
Yeah.
He slept on the floor. And it's just, people think, oh, he's in my bedroom or he's in my bed. And it's like, they automatically think of sexual things. And it's like, I was looking at something else too. There's actually, doc that I saw after this that I was looking at that I kind of stumbled across on YouTube as well. I'll get back to you with the name, but they were just mentioning how, at that time, people were hungry for the money.
Yeah,
Okay.
always.
And that's always been the case. You see, like the tabloids, that's when like National Enquirer and all those things were like super popular at that time. And it was like the stories would change based off of how much money you were offering.
Yeah, they pay these people, some of these people $20,000,
Yeah.
$10,000.
Hey, but if you say that he touched you, we'll give 50.
Exactly.
We'll
and
double
these
it.
are the people who they call to the stand to corroborate the story. It was just,
It's a
it
lot.
was disgusting.
Very disgusting.
It was a journalist.